god, the struggle for the thumbnail.
I go around, I go around, I go around and I go around and I go around.
You guys might be wondering, Mila, it's currently like summer. You're currently filming a summer book recommendations. Why are you wearing a hoodie? Because literally when I'm filming it, it's like 20 degrees outside. It's cold. Like, I am wearing shorts, but I'm also wearing a hoodie. Like, I know this is Canada, but like literally now it's like 20 degrees. In like a couple of days, it's gonna be like 32 degrees. But anyways, if you're new here, my name is Mila. I make everything from college, lifestyle, bookish, and soon sorority type content. So if that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button so, you know, you're updated every single time that I post. And yeah, so today we're gonna be doing a little summer book rec video. I've never filmed a book rec video before. I feel like book recs are so fun, but I feel like I never felt like I read enough to make like a dedicated book rec video. But we have one today from like kind of like piecing together all the summer books that I read, either previous summers or stuff that I read during the year that I was like, oh, this like fits in the summer vibe. So yeah, we're gonna have 3 different categories. I'm gonna have thrillers, then literary fiction, and then obviously romances. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into my summer book rec video. So first we're gonna start with thrillers because I feel like it's an easy category. So the first one we're gonna be talking about is, let's do this one because I feel like this is like kind of summer. So we have The Fury by Alex Michaelides. So I love Alex Michaelides, right? This book, well, he only has 3 books out. This is my least favorite book from him, but not because it's bad. It's just that the writing style is so like, I just feel like compared to his other books, I had higher expectations. But this book I still rated pretty highly. It's still a really good book. The writing style, it's just like, it's written in a way that the best way to describe it is like you meet someone at a bar and they're just like telling you a story. Like if you've read this book, you know exactly what I mean. But it's like that. It's very like, it keeps you on your toes because I've never read a thriller that's written like this. And this is placed on a Greek island, so it has like that summer vibe. In this book, you have this famous, is she retired? I don't know if she's retired now, but this famous actress, and she kind of like gets her group of friends together and they go to her little private Greek island for a weekend to kind of like, I think something was going on in her life, so she was like a relaxing weekend like away from like life before the next morning someone dies. I can't say more because I really want you guys to read it and just like embrace the writing style because I swear like you have never read, like I've never heard of a thriller that's even written like this. So even if you're not a huge fan of Alex Michaelides or thrillers in general, just how it's written, I say definitely pick it up because it keeps you hooked. Like you can't, I feel like I literally read this in like 1 to 2 sittings. Like in 2 days I finished it. Well, like I mainly read it one day and then I finished the book like the other day, maybe like 50 pages. You just can't put it down. It's so good. Another thriller I have here is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. So this one takes place, like it doesn't really give summer. Again, like private island type vibes, people die. And like one thing that I like about these 2 books that is like an isolated island. Like I really like the isolation thing in the thrillers. But yeah, so isolated island, and it's kind of like a family reunion for, I want to say, the grandmother's birthday. So yeah, everyone comes in, then it's high tide. Yeah, high tide, so you cannot dock on the island. Slowly, people start dying. I think it's after midnight that people start dying, and there's like a riddle, or I read this last year so I don't really remember that well, but there's a type of like riddle or just like, you know, like very interesting. I was like on my toes. If you want to know more about this book, I do talk about it, and I think my reading summer thrillers for 24-hour videos that I posted last summer, I don't remember if I think it's not like spoilers. Like obviously it talks about it a bit, but not like spoilers. And I feel like for thrillers, I like to not know anything going in besides like basic plots. So yeah, grandmother's 90th or something like that, like high up their birthday, the whole family comes together, isolated island, high tide, no one can come in, and people start dying. It did not go where I expected it to go. Reading it, I would have had no idea, but then going back, I kind of picked up on it, but I didn't realize what the connection was. But I feel like when it gets to the reveal, you're gonna be like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. So yeah, that's what I really liked about this book. This one I rated pretty highly also. Super fun summer thriller. And then another fun summer thriller that I read for the exact same video is A House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This one, oh my god, all you need to know is that there's this woman who goes to her lake house, I think to escape something that's going on, and she sees the couple across the lake. She thinks something sus is happening because she's friends with the wife, and I'm gonna leave it at that because this was everything. Read it because it's so good. This I think I rated 4. This one I almost rated 5 stars. I think it was like 4.75. I was missing a little something. It wasn't like a 5-star, but it was like super close. Like if there's one thriller that you read out of the 3, please read this. It gives like as many summer vibes as a thriller can, but just perfect. This other thriller isn't, I mean, it's not a thriller, it's more like cozy mystery. This has nothing to do with summer. I mean, setting kind of summery, but it's like, it was so funny. Like I was laughing. I was literally like laughing out loud. It was so funny. It's set in, I don't know if it's set in Hawaii. No, I think it's Hawaii or like some like nice island. Dial A for aunties. Going into this book, I would not have expected this to be a 5-star read. It's literally the best thing ever. It's a cozy mystery. There's murder, there's plotting, there's like, it's such a good book. Basically, our main character, she, like her mom, I think her mom and her aunts set her up on this date, like a blind date, and the date doesn't go that well. So in the car, when they're driving home, there's a little accident, and her date's dead. And she's like, okay, what do I do with the body? And you just see like all the shenanigans, all the outlandish things that the aunties and her mom and this girl are doing just to hide the body. And then it's literally like, think of a cartoon. Think of like a cartoon where someone dies and it's so outlandish to hide the body. That's this book. It's so good. Please read it this summer. So that's all we have in the thriller category. Now moving on to literary fiction books. There's one like primary author that I'm going to recommend for this category, and that's Taylor Jenkins Reid. Wait a minute. Where is that book? It's like piled under other books, so I don't want to take it out right now. But honestly, anything Taylor Jenkins Reid is perfect for the summer. Like I have Malibu Rising in my shelf. Like you can't see it, but it's over here. Which summer vibes. Like if you haven't read it, it's the span of like 24 hours basically. So you follow a family in a way, like the 4 kids, and you kind of like see what they get to throughout the day, and then everything like leading up to a party that they're hosting at night, and the extravagance of the party, how crazy things get. Like, it wasn't my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I feel like if you're going to the beach, this is like a really good book to read by the beach or by the pool. And basically, if you've read The 7 Husbands, this is Mick Riva's family. So he was one of Evelyn's husbands. After that, he marries someone and he starts his family. So you kind of like see the couple like going through different stages of their life. You see the kids growing up and stuff like that. So it's a very like, you only see 24 hours of the actual story, but you get like a lot of background info on the kids. And honestly, like the first part where you kind of like learn who these people are, I wasn't like super invested in, but the second part, when I got to the party and stuff like that, I really liked that part. And the ending was so satisfying, so perfect. I really liked it, so I definitely recommend that. And also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I recommend, like obviously Evelyn Hugo was a good book, but I feel like for summer, Daisy Jones and the Six gives me more summer vibes. And there's also the TV show, so you can go watch that after reading this. So if you have not read this yet, basically this follows a band, Daisy Jones and the Six, and you kind of like see the story of this band, like how they come together, their highs, their lows, the peak point in their career, falling out, and like just like basically the entire like span of the life of the band. It's told in interview style, so it's so easy to read. It's so fast paced. You like honestly can't put it down. And if you're not a book person, like a physical book person, you kind of like prefer audiobooks sometimes. The audio book of this is so good. Like I think I started reading this physical, then I was cleaning my room, so I put on the audiobook and I just finished the book by audio because it was just like, again, it's interview style, so hearing people's voices, like it's so good. It's so good. Please read it. This was like a 5-star read. I read it last year and I absolutely loved it. This, definitely read it during the summer. It's just good vibes for the summer. So the last literary fiction book I'm going to recommend is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. So this book, I feel like it's, again, good for like the beach or good for when you're by a pool. I don't know how I feel about my shadow. I mean, it's okay. I'm not gonna move my lights more than this. I'm just gonna power through the video like this. But you follow this 14-year-old girl called Mary Jane who babysits for this couple, and the couple is like very different from how her parents are. Her parents are more like traditional, like stricter, follow rules, and then the other couple, they're more hippie. Like this takes place in the 70s, so they're more hippie, more like free, having fun, like loose lifestyle. And the dad is a psychologist, or I think he's a psychologist or a therapist, something like that. And there's this like famous, I don't know if the guy, I think the guy's in a band and his wife is an actress, or like just like a famous couple, and they come to live with that family. And you just see like Mary Jane kind of like experiencing this like new mentality, this new like, okay, like we're having fun, we're enjoying life, and just like the different like environments. And it was honestly perfect for the summer, just like a small short read, good vibes. Wasn't my favorite, but wasn't my least favorite, but just like very like good for like the pool or for the beach. Now going to romance. I feel like we're gonna do romances set in the summer or set in like a beachy place, and then we're gonna do romances that just make sense to read in the summer. So for actual summer romances, we have Wildfire by Hannah Gray. So this takes place in a sleepaway camp. Yeah, a sleepaway camp. So basically, this is the second book in the Maple Hills University series. So the first book is Icebreaker. There's a third book coming out soon. I do not know what it's called, but it's the second book. So it's the end of the semester and there's a party, and Russ and Aurora end up hooking up, but then they're like, okay, we're not gonna like see each other, so like whatever, it's fine, like I can forget about this person. But it turns out that they're both working as counselors at the summer camp, and you see them like getting closer, talking, and just such good vibes. Like I feel like I really like books set at like summer camps, and you're gonna see there's like another book over here that's like a 5-star read that is also like set in the summer camp, but perfect for summer camp vibes. I love Aurora. I love Russ. I love Russ. Just such good vibes. And we see in the epilogue that Stassi and Nate's kid is called Mila. So that's like low-key everything. But yeah, definitely recommend this. A good book for the summer. And then going along with the summer camp vibes, this 5-star read that took me by surprise, Say You Still Love Me by Kay Tucker. This book owns my entire heart. Like you wouldn't think from the cover, but oh my god, present timeline, it's not exactly summer vibes. It's like you have a main character, I think her name is Piper. Yeah, Piper. So Piper is working at her dad's company, and she's like struggling, just like working in a very like male dominated environment, which was something that I really liked about this book, because I'm an engineering major. I know like in my future I am gonna be working in a very like male dominated environment, and just like seeing her like carving a place for herself, like proving herself to others, I feel like that's something that I really liked about this book, because you saw her like powering through people who doubted her, people who like didn't think that she could do things and stuff like that in like a corporate male dominated like office type field thing. So I really appreciated that about this book. But yeah, so there's that. And then you see that the building hires new security, and one of the guys who is like part of the security team, he went to the same summer camp as Piper back when they were kids. So I think this is when they were 16, and now they're like 28, 29, so almost like 10 years ago. And it's like a dual timeline. Like you see them in the present reconnecting, and then you see the story of them in the past, and the past is at a summer camp where they were both counselors. I feel like it's one of those books where both storylines, past and present, are so good. And it's like, I feel like most books, one you like more than the other, one you find more interesting than the other, but this one, like it feels like two completely different stories that by themselves will work out so perfectly and would be 5-star reads, but together it's even better. And this book, like no one talks about it. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I found it on Book Outlet and I was like, let's just try it. I took a gamble. Can I say that? I took a risk, and 5-star, so good. Please, please, please read this book. Literally the best thing ever. Let's go here. So we have basically anything by Carly Fortune. So over here, I'm going to show you Every Summer After. Meet Me at the Lake. It's still like summery vibes. I just did not like it as much as Every Summer After, so I'm gonna mainly recommend Every Summer After. I know she has a new book that came out. I bought it. I have not read it yet, so I can't really recommend it, but honestly, anything Carly Fortune, very summery, love it. This, if you haven't read it yet, if you haven't heard about it, it's basically Love in Other Words and The Summer I Turned Pretty. More thought out, done better. I guess for a much older audience than like The Summer I Turned Pretty. Basically over here, you have, oh my god, this has been so long since I read it, like let me remember. There's this girl, she used to go up to Muskoka every single summer. Yeah, her parents were friends with the neighbors, like they lived in Toronto. The neighbors like lived there permanently. Every summer she'd hang out with the two kids. They grew up together. Something happened, so they stopped talking. I want to say the mom of the boys died. So she's going up for the funeral and you see her like rekindling her relationship with the guys. You have the past timeline from when they were younger and you see what happened. So much better than The Summer I Turned Pretty. So much more satisfying. There's nothing, because that like I did not like that series. This one, if you like The Summer I Turned Pretty, you have to read this. This one, so good. Loved it. So if you have not read if you have not yet read Carly Fortune, definitely recommend pick up all 3 of her books. And she's Canadian, so we love a Canadian queen. But yeah, definitely recommend this for the summer. I think there's 3 more books that actually take place over the summer. So okay, this one, if you're looking for good literature, this is not it. If you're looking for, how do I say this, just, this is very Wattpad-y. Honestly, the first chapters I was like, I'm absolutely gonna hate this, but I ate this up. It's such a guilty pleasure read. It's so cringy, but in the best way possible. Like, you know how some things are cringy and like bad and you're like, I can't? This is cringy, but you love it. It's Summertime by Willow Astor. I feel like when I tell you about this book, you're gonna be like, why would I read this? So I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm just gonna say that there's this girl who, I don't know if she just graduated university or she's looking for an internship, and her parents are divorced, right? But her dad is a director or a screenwriter. Like, he works in the Hollywood industry, and he's like offering her a little like job to work with him over the summer. So she goes to California and she meets the people who he works with. So there is like a love triangle between, I want to say, the dad's mentee and one of the actors. And this is a love triangle done right. Like, it's so cringy, but it's so good. The situations that they're in is so outlandish. I think there's like a plane almost crashing. I don't think it actually crashed, but there's like a plane crash that they're involved in, and I'm like, what the, like, how did we get here? It's so crazy, so cringy, so outlandish, but it's such a guilty pleasure read. It's so good. Going more YA, we have Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. Let me think what this book's about. So you have a girl who, I think also her parents are divorced, and she goes to stay with her dad in California. Once again, I want to say it's that. And she has been talking online with this guy, and they basically been talking about like I want to say it's movies and stuff like that, and they talk like very often, like almost every single day for like years. And then she says like, I'm moving to California, like maybe I can meet him because I know he's from California. And I don't remember much about this book because I read it like 2 years ago, but I just remember it was like such good vibes. I generally really enjoyed it, and I didn't think that I would because it is YA, and I read it when I was like 21, but it was so good, so just wholesome, cute, summery. And if you want something more like lighthearted, easy to read, fast, please read Alex Approximately. The last book that takes place in the summer that I'm going to recommend is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I know she wrote another book, I think came out like last year. I have not read that yet. But this book, basically, if you love Taylor Swift, you're gonna love this book. You have our main character who, I forget who, but someone in her family is getting married. So the entire like groom and bride's family go to Martha's Vineyard and just like to celebrate the wedding, obviously. And basically there's a huge game of assassin. So everyone from the bride side, everyone from the groom side they're playing this game of assassin, trying to kill each other and stuff like that. And our main character, Meredith, I want to say, she meets stepbrother, half-brother, some connection like that of the groom. And at first they're not like super fond of each other, I want to say, but then you see them getting to know each other. Like it's not like rivals or enemies to lovers. I think they're just like not super close, but you see them starting to get close to each other, and it's just so wholesome and cute. Again, I read this 2 years ago, so I can't give you more details, but it's such a good read for the summer. It's also, I think it's YA, but it doesn't feel like too young YA. It's really good. Such a good book. And when you find out, because there's a little like I can't say exactly what it is because I kind of forgot and I don't want to spoil it, but there's a little like connection that you're gonna make. It's just you're really gonna like this book. Like, please read it. It's so good. I know 100% you're gonna enjoy it. Those are all the books with like summer, well, like set in summer. So all these other books just give me summer vibes. Like actually this one, it happened one summer. I forgot, but I'm pretty sure from the title it did happen during the summer. So this book, I feel like everyone read it by now. I just want to show you. I read this book while I was tanning, and yeah, she's not fun, but this book was so good. Like, Tessa Bailey for me is like a hit or miss author. Some books I like, some books I don't. Typically I don't like the books, but It Happened One Summer was so good. There's also Hook, Line, and Sinker, which is the second book. It involves his best friend and her sister. That I didn't like as much, so I don't recommend that, but It Happened One Summer, it's so good. Basically, Piper is like your socialite party girl, and she kind of goes too far. So her dad like her mom and her stepfather sent her to her dad's like small town because her dad came from this like small fishing town. There's like some type of deal she has to accomplish to be able to, I don't think it's her inheritance, but like something to do, like just like she has to complete this like little thing in this like small town, and she meets the guy Brendan, and it's Grumpy Sunshine, small town. It's so good. I ate it up. Like, again, I'm not a huge fan of Tessa Bailey, but this is so good. I think I rated it 4.5 stars or 4.25 stars. I read this such a long time ago, but it's generally so good, and I do think about it from time to time, so please go read this if you have not. I think this is the one Tessa Bailey book that I really, really recommend. Then yeah, this is actually all the books that are set in summer. Let's go here. So going back to Taylor Jenkins Reid, When True Loves, this is not set in the summer. Like, it just gives, like, it's a good book to read during the summer. So basically you have our main character who, they weren't married. I think it was her fiance. He was a journalist, or he works for like some National Geographic type thing. I could be completely wrong, but I think like that type of journaling. And he goes, I want to say, to Hawaii for work, and then he's in a helicopter. The helicopter crashes, and so she obviously thinks like, I lost my husband. Well, I lost my fiance. So fast forward to a couple of years, she met this other guy. Oh no, I think they were married. Then she meets this other guy and they're engaged. But then turns out her husband, who we thought was dead, or her fiance, who we thought was dead, is suddenly alive. And then you kind of like see her like debating on like, what do I want to do? Like, he's been here since forever. He was like my everything, and I thought he's dead. Like, I thought he died. That's why I'm with this guy. But then now, like, I invested so much in this guy because I thought he was dead. So I have this guy now, and it's going so well. But then also, you know, you see her like struggling with that. This was, again, a love triangle done right. And the book cover, like, I don't know how the North American cover looks, because this one, I think I bought this in France. So the cover is a little different than the North American cover, but just think of the Instagram pictures you could take of the beach with this book. I'm gonna talk about this one because I read this one on that trip that I bought that book for. So The Spanish Love Deception. I don't know when this book takes place. All I know is that I read this during the summer when I went to Barcelona, like on my train from Paris to Barcelona, and on the flight back from Barcelona, I read this book. So for me, this book screams summer. And oh my god, I read this such a long time ago. So our main character, she's going to someone's wedding back in Spain because she is Spanish. She's like living in the States. And her coworker, Aaron Blackford, he's like, oh, you need a date for the wedding? I'll be your date. So they go to Spain, pose as like a fake couple, and it's kind of a slow burn, but it's so good. And if you're going to Spain this summer, honestly, the best thing I did was to read this in Spain, because I feel like it just made it better. Please read this if you have not yet read it. I know she has 2 other books that came out, kind of like following characters like that you see over here. I have not yet read those, but definitely want to check them out soon. But yes, Spanish Love Deception. If you're going to Spain, or if you're just traveling to Europe, please bring this book on the plane with you. You will not regret it. This book does not take place in the summer, but it takes place in Miami. It's like a college thing. So we have, ignore Adam on the cover, like, ew. Where are there's other books in the series that, like, these are the old covers that have the men, but there's like the new covers that don't have the men. But this is the Palm South University series by Candy Steiner. It's a 7-book series, but they're like very small. They're so fast to read. This, it's like watching a TV show. It's so good. There's so much drama. You basically follow 2 frat guys and then 5 sorority girls, I want to say, and you just like see their life and stuff like that, and everything they go through. Sorry if the angle changed a tiny little bit. My camera died, so I had to go charge it before coming back. But just super good vibes, like sorority, fraternities, so much drama. It feels like you're watching a TV show, and you're definitely gonna fall in love with these characters. It's just so much going on, and it's so good. This for me belongs in this video because I live in Montreal. Our city is where there's the Canadian Grand Prix. Like for us, it's every like early June, like from the 5th to 10th, around that time, it's always in Montreal. So for me, when I see like racer F1 romances, I think of summer. So I'm putting Throttled on this list. Currently when I'm filming this video, it's 2 days after the race, and I basically paused reading everything I was reading to read Collided, which is the 2nd book in this series, and it was a 5-star read. It was so good. I'm only like halfway through the series, but I know like it's gonna be a good series, and it's Lauren Asher. So if you've read other things by her, like, you know her writing style, it's fun, we love it, sucks you in, super interesting. But yeah, so this follows 2 racing companies. We have Bandini, which gives like Ferrari vibes, and then we also have McCoy, which basically gives off the vibes of McLaren. So it's like you can see where Lauren Asher got her inspo from. Basically, first book, you have Maya, who her brother like just joined Bandini, and she graduated college. She doesn't know what to do with her life, so she joins him, kind of becomes like a vlogger on YouTube. And then you have Noah, who is her brother's teammate. He's more like experienced in the game. Santi, her brother, is more like the rookie. So yeah, they're in the same team, but they're also kind of like rivals. That's what's going on here. In the 2nd book, it's Sophie, who is the daughter of the head guy of Bandini, and then Liam, who is a driver for, I was gonna say McLaren, but I'm like, no, like in this book it's called McCoy. The 3rd book, you have Jax, who is Liam's teammate, and his PR rep helper person, who you see in book 2, Elena. And book 4 is Santi's book. I don't know who it's with, but yeah, so that's what's going on in the series. So yeah, F1 literally kicks off summer in Montreal, so this series is definitely on my list. This one doesn't scream summer, but I feel like small town gives summer vibes, so I'm gonna put Elsie Silver, just like anything by her, on the list here. I've actually only read Flawless by her, so I'm only showing Flawless, but I fell in love with it. So good. Like, again, like cowboy, it's just a vibe for summer. Like, I actually bought more cowboy books after this. I actually have Done and Dusted because I loved Flawless so much. But yeah, honestly, anything cowboy screams summer, like small town cowboy, summer. This book, there's nothing like summery particularly about it, and I didn't hear anyone talk about it, but it's such a cute book, and I feel like people should definitely read it. It's called I Hate You More by Lucy Gilmore. So this book, I read it last summer. You have this girl, Ruby. She's an ex-pageant queen, and now she's like working as not a nurse, but kind of like a care, like an aide type person at what are they called, retirement homes, I think that's what they're called. One of the ladies at that home has a dog. It's the lady's husband's dog, and he wanted to enter this dog in one of those like dog shows, but it's a golden retriever, and golden retrievers aren't meant for dog shows, I think, because it's harder to train them, or it's just this dog that's harder to train. and she wants to like fulfill this person's wish. So she brings the dog to the dog show, and there she meets the guy, Spencer. I think, is he a vet or he's a doctor? Yeah, he's a vet, and he's one of the judges, and they kind of like spark a little romance. It's very like grumpy sunshine. Oh, I can't say this, but there's like a little thing that you see, like it's not a spoiler, but it's like something fun to find out. But yeah, this book, so good. I rated like, I think 4.25 stars. No one talks about this. I feel like definitely more people should talk about it. So yeah, if you love dogs, definitely pick this up. You're really, really gonna like this. This also, not really screaming summer, but I feel like it's a fun book to read during the summer, and it's Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. So in this book, you have our main character, Olivia, and she kind of burns down her apartment. Oops. So she lives with her brother, and her brother has a roommate. What's his name? Colin. And Colin and Olivia do not like each other at all. At some point, like, Olivia gets a text from some random person, Mr. Wrong Number. And they start talking, like, jokingly having fun. And at some point, Colin realizes, oh, that person is Olivia. But Olivia doesn't know that yet. And you just see them, like, I don't remember what happened in this book, because I feel like I read it such a long time ago, but I remember loving it so much. It was so good. It was so funny. And just like seeing like Olivia's relationship with Colin in real life, then her like talking about Colin, like to Colin, who's Mr. Wrong Number, like I liked that. It was such a good book. Please go read it. 100% recommend. I think it's probably like a 4 or 4.25 star book. Just not summer vibes, but perfect to read for the summer. And finally, honestly, anything Emily Henry like would be going over here. I read People We Meet on Vacation. I do not have it with me when my friend is borrowing it, and my mom currently has Happy Place, so I can't show that. Funny Story is like piled. It's one of the books in the pile under my mic. I have not read that. And I have not read Beach Read, but Beach Read is like the only Emily Henry book I have in my room. So I'm going to be showing this just to talk about Emily Henry. So People We Meet on Vacation, it's like these two friends, I think they met in college, and they go on vacation every single summer, but then at some point they have a little falling out, they don't talk to each other, and then they're like, you know what, let's do this tradition again. I read it like 3 years ago, so I don't really remember, but it was really good. I know it's the book by Emily Henry that people like the least, but I thought it was really good. Happy Place, it came out last summer, and basically over there you have a couple who are engaged, but things were falling apart. They basically called off their engagement, but they didn't tell their friends, and they're going, I forget where, but like out of town for, I think the 4th of July, I could be completely wrong, but for like basically a long weekend with their friends, like 2 other couples. What I like about Emily Henry is that it's not romance focused, it's like connection to people focused, and you see the dynamics with the friends. Like it really feels like I'm reading about like me and my friends going up north to a cottage for a long weekend, you know, like it's that type of vibe. It's perfect for the summer. Beach Read, I know it's 2 authors and they're both struggling, so they read in other people's the other person's genre. At a lake house, I think so. Funny Story, the girl main character finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with the girlfriend of the guy main character. So obviously like they call it quits. They're both living, I think, with her partner, and then the other girl moves in with her ex, and she moves in with the guy whose girlfriend was the girl who her ex cheated on her with, because she like needs a place to stay and she can't find a place, so he offers. Like out of like every single Emily Henry like summary from her books, this one seemed the most interesting, so I really think I'm gonna like Funny Story. Obviously I'm gonna like force myself to read Beach Read before reading Funny Story. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god, I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping. My window has been outside. My window has been open for the entire video, and birds are going crazy outside. I hope you guys found a few like summaries that you'd be interested in checking out. I feel like I'm gonna do this in the fall also. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button so you know when that video comes out. Not for the next 2 months, but so you know when it comes out. Also, leave a thumbs up if you like this video, so I know to bring you more book cracks. As I mentioned before, I'm working on a small town romance book rec video. I bought a lot of small town romances. I'm also currently trying to, like, I basically have like 2 reading vlogs planned for every month this summer. Some bigger, some smaller. Like, just, I really put my engineering brain to work, and I was like, what is the most effective way to plan out your videos, plan out your reading vlogs so you can reach your Goodreads goal and read for these videos, but also have like genres mixed so you don't burn out. Like, I really put her to power. And I have everything planned, but yes, so I have that planned. I don't have any other ideas for any other book racks, so let me know if you have any ideas of like tropes that you want to see. Like, I think I'm probably gonna do sports romance because I read a lot of sports romance. Maybe thrillers, I don't know, but like for now I'm really gonna focus on, I think I have allergies because I literally sneezed like 5 times this video, but I'm really gonna focus on small town romances. And yeah, that's all I need to say. All my socials I linked down below if you want to go check me out. My TikTok, Instagram, Goodreads. I mentioned it before, but subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. And that's going to be all for me today. So stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.